Hey, what's going on? BootlessSkadi here, and I'm bringing you a bit of Smite today. This is a slightly different game. You may not have seen it. If you have seen it, then you'll have to excuse me for the next couple of minutes. But it's basically a MOBA from a third-person perspective. A MOBA being a game like League of Legends or Dota. This sort of idea that you've got a single champion and lanes and you push the lanes and get to the end of the lane to win sort of idea. And in this version of a MOBA, it's third person and you play as a god from ancient mythology. In this case I'm playing as the Greek goddess Artemis, who is a physical ranged god, so you shoot stuff essentially. You may see the big blue arrow on the floor. That's actually where my basic attack will go when I left click. So every single attack is a skill shot, which is something I quite like about this, because in League of Legends or something it's just click on an enemy and your champion will auto attack that enemy. Whereas for this you actually have to aim it and hit the target, so there's every shot is a skill shot, which is cool. I quite like that. I have got it on auto leveling my skills and auto buying my items because I am still very new to this game. This is, I think, this was my 4th or 5th game, I think, something like that. Not very many in. I'll actually I'll upload the I took a few snapshots from my very first game, which was rather entertaining because it didn't go so well. But that'll be up in another video. Here I'm laning against another Artemis, Kali and Thor. Thor's on my team. He's got a really cool stun, and it like makes a wall so that people can't run past it, which is pretty handy, shall we say. There was a bit of confusion because Bakasura called mid in the lobby, but then chose Bakasura, so apparently I was meant to have gone mid instead, which is what I'm quickly doing now since I've just figured that out. The minions have already spawned. I'm up against Hebo, the god of the Yellow River or something. The Yellow River? Oh, don't quote me on that actually. I'm not sure. But I'll just quickly run you through Artemis' skills. I really enjoyed this champion because her basic attack is a very big damage to her later in the game. But the one, or what would be Q for League of Legends, is it's a snare. So it's when an enemy god walks on it, they are snared and take damage. It also acts as a ward, so if I put it off to the side in the jungle, it'll show an enemy god on the minimap up in the top right, which is pretty handy. 2, or what would be W, is Vengeful Assault, which just is a straight up boost of attack speed, which is very good for Artemis because Artemis' basic attack does a lot of damage. So that's pretty handy. 3, or what would be E, is I think it's like suppress the incident or something, which it's basically fires a bunch of arrows up into the air that come down, and it's just an area of effect. You see me using it just there actually, and similar to most MOBAs, there's a tower in lane. There's a number of towers. There's 3 in this case, 2 towers, a phoenix, and then the end boss, which is the Minotaur, which actually it's like Nexus in League of Legends, but it hits back, and it hits back quite hard actually, which I found out in my very first game because I got absolutely smashed by the Minotaur at the end, not realising that it hits like a train. So this is just some basic laning at the moment. I have got mid, so I'm trying to creep from a bit. I am also pushing quite a lot. Perhaps too much, I don't know, but I've got the level and the gold advantage over Hebo already, which is a good start, and that's exactly what I needed, I think. He's got a couple of cool abilities. One you just saw there was he sort of makes a river along the floor, which when you're in it you take damage and are slowed, and he moves faster when he's in it. So it's sort of something that he can catch you with, because if he does that and it slows you down, it speeds him up, he can close the gap to you. His other one, which was just used there as well, is like, it's like you've just hit a water main and the water explodes up out of the floor and punts you in the air, which is obviously renders you incapable for about a second or so. And just there was his ultimate, which is sort of like a dive forward as a wave. It knocks you back, but it also carries him along because he is the wave, essentially. Which is pretty cool. He very nearly kills me here, and I'm extremely lucky. My next thought is straight away to try and catch him in the tower's range, but I don't quite succeed at doing that. Nearly again, but not quite. They'll almost end up dying again, but I have to say Artemis isn't too difficult a god to play. Quite easy, really. This game perhaps isn't the best example of what goes on in Smite, because it was the first time that there was someone on both teams that wasn't actually playing. So we had someone that disconnected, and on the opposing team, the Loki never actually started the game, I don't think. I don't know if he disconnected or if he quit, but I don't think he did anything at any point, sort of thing. But as you can see, I'm not having to actually level up my skills or buy anything at the shop when I go back to base, as it were, because I've got it set up to do that automatically, just because I don't think I would actually know what to get. Artemis also has a passive, I should probably mention, which is every time you make a consecutive hit with your basic attack, you gain a small amount of crit, which is pretty cool. Which is sort of tells you that you should be using the basic attack as sort of a regular damage doer. It's also got quite a long range compared to some of the other gods, which is good fun. I don't think I ever made it to it, but ultimate, the 4, is it summons a boar that charges at enemy gods and stuns them for a small amount of time. I don't know the time off the top of my head, but it stuns them. And what you can do, which is really good, is use your 4, get the stun, and then use your 1 to snare them, so they can't actually get away even after the stun's worn out. They also take damage from that as well. I don't actually do that at any point in this match, but I could have done. Here I got greedy. I got very greedy, and I snatched at the opportunity to try and kill Hebo, and made a bit of an error, which is that I used my boar, or my ultimate, whilst he was as a wave. So when he was as a wave doing his ultimate, my boar didn't target him. So me using my ultimate was essentially useless at that point. And if I'd waited half a second longer, I probably could have killed him there. Which is a bit unforgiving, but it was definitely my error, and I should have killed him there. There's not actually a lot going on otherwise at the moment. The thing I like about Smite compared to League of Legends is that it tells you the amount of gold that each god has acquired in the sort of like the tab scoreboard. Is that the one? Yeah, we'll call it a scoreboard. But I should also mention Smite is free. There's no cost for you playing it. Well, other than the time that you've spent playing it. There's no real cost. You don't have to pay for it, sort of thing, which is it's good. You can pay to unlock skins and gods as well, similar to League of Legends, very similar to that with buying riot points. Here Artemis comes to join a lane, which is a bit of a problem, but Thor comes out of the shrubbery to cause a few issues. That's his stun that was top, really. If I'd been able to capitalise on that, that would have been handy. Boar gets the kill for me there. Not a lot I can do. Here I stepped in the Artemis's trap, which was a bit stupid, if I'm honest. Wasn't really paying attention. Thor missed his stun as well. Maybe if we'd both coordinated that a little bit better, we could have done. Here he goes for Thor's ultimate, which is he jumps up in the air, then comes down and stuns, and I let him take the kill. I could have stolen that, but that would have been a bit harsh. He did pop his ultimate, which is he spins his hammer for a couple of seconds, goes up in the air, and then he can come slamming down on a target of his choice and stun any gods in that area, which worked pretty well there. Did nearly die from the tower, and here comes Kali, and Kali sucks because especially sort of later game, once she gets a bunch of lifesteal, you can sort of have her almost dead and she'll pop one ability and be back at half health, which is aggravating. But there we go. Evo's doing a good job of harassing me, actually. Here Thor misses with his stun, but I also misjudged how long it lasts, and perhaps I could have gotten. And Kali comes. See, if I'd been watching my minimap, I would have seen that come in and been able to do something. I was so intent on trying to kill Hebo that Kali just came out of the bushes and whooped me. Did get her in the end though, which is alright. But so it's not a flawless gameplay for me, I have to admit, but it's not too bad. I finished fairly strong. I don't know what I'm on at this point. I've just finished building my boots. Each item that you buy has sort of 3 levels before it's a completed item, and you don't necessarily have to complete them as Thor has done, but it's sort of it's more beneficial in my mind at least to complete them, because you often get like a passive bonus on 3rd completion sort of thing. So what I've done is I had Death Toll from the start, which gives a small amount of lifesteal and increases physical damage. I've got my boots, which increase movement speed, attack speed, and what's it called? Gives physical damage as well. Here I'm just doing a bit of harassing on Artemis. I managed to hit her quite a few times, and nearly, well, might have been able to get her if I'd committed to diving, but Hebo and Kali are on the way back, which is a bit of a problem. May result in my death. I'm not sure what I was doing there. I've just taken a breather. I guess here comes Kali again, after some blood to suck. Nah, having none of that. Having none of that. Did manage to use my boar quite well there actually, and get the stun so that they couldn't run out of the radius of the tower, which you can see on the floor. I was helped, and have to give credit to Thor there for using his stun and sort of like his barricade, as it were, to keep them within the radius, which meant that they were easily picked off. Level 2 on my gloves, which is lifesteal and attack damage essentially. Pretty cool, loving it. It's we're doing alright at the moment. I wouldn't say we're in control, because even though we're like the odd level ahead of Kali, she's still a right pain because of the she can do a lot of damage, a lot of burst damage, but also has a lot of lifesteal, so she can get a bit tanky and a bit hard to actually burst down. But I would really recommend picking up this game if you haven't already. It's completely free. I think you can play it. I think the client is a 2.2 gig download, which is quite a lot. But I mean, once you've done that, need to do it again, sort of thing. There'll be a link in the description to the website, etc. I think they've actually got a scheme where if you refer someone and they play the game, you can then get what is called favour, which is like the IP points in League of Legends, which allows you to purchase other gods. So if you do feel like playing it and you haven't picked it up, it would be helpful if you used that, because although I don't gain anything like any money or anything from it, I would be able to bring you more gods, which would be perhaps more interesting to you. I've been really enjoying playing this game, so I will be playing more of it in the future. Here I'm pretty stupid, if I'm honest. I don't know what I was thinking. I was so busy looking at where I was going to fire my shot that I actually didn't pay attention to the fact that trapped the floor. And Carly is getting pretty greedy here. She manages to mess up my ball a bit, but uses sprint to get away. Unlike the summoner spells that you have to pick prior to the game in League of Legends, sorry I keep comparing it to League of Legends, but that's the only other MOBA that I've played any real I've ever put any real time into. There we go. I had to think about that, I was struggling a bit. So that's sort of the best thing that I can relate to. And yeah, I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, you can actually buy abilities. So at the start of the game, I auto bought my F and G, which G is the sprint, which is a speed boost, which is just a get me out of trouble button, or a get me to the trouble button, and F, which is a instant restore of mana. There are other ones. There's ones that increase your physical damage for a short amount of time, that slow enemy movement speed, that increase allied movement speed, but you basically just buy those whenever you want. In this case they're auto bought at the start of the game because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I thought I'd share this anyway because it could be for interesting viewing perhaps. Might not be, you might think it's rubbish. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. But at this point I've managed to build my complete my third item, which is the gloves, and I can now deal with the minions quite easily. The glove has got quite a cool sort of passive to it, which is on a minion kill you gain 0.5 attack damage, or what's referred to as physical power, and a small amount of lifesteal that I can't remember off the top of my head. So it sort of encourages you to farm a bit more. In hindsight, I should have spent more time jungling. That we just walked past on the left, which is the big gold dot on the minimap in the jungle, is the equivalent of the dragon from League of Legends, which gives all the players on your team extra gold when it is killed. I'm in trouble here because Carly after I'm trying to sneak up on Vulcan and Artemis. Oh good, get out of there. So dead, so dead. Did I get it? Did I get it? Oh, and she got away as well. That was poor from me. I wanted to put down the wall when I should have just backed off. And I paid the price for that. Bit of a rookie error, but I'm a rookie, so I can live with that. Yeah, I have to stress that I am no pro at all. I've only just started playing the game, but I thought I'd contribute what I've discovered from playing it. I didn't actually realise, just looking at the scoreboard there, I thought I should have disconnected before the game had really started, but he did actually die 3 times before he disconnected. I wonder if he perhaps quit as opposed to disconnected, whereas Loki on the other team never even started. But I'm back alive now. I've got the start of my 4th item, which is yet more physical power, which just means that my basic attack's just going to hit harder and my abilities will hit slightly harder. Artemis is quite a squishy god, but actually deals out a lot of damage. Don't know what I was doing there. Taking a breather. Here, Thor does a really good job of setting me up actually, and I can finish off Hebo. I don't know, Thor was a bit low on health, so he backed off. But I managed to finish him off. I was set up though. Kali's roaming this shrubbery a bit. Just saying thanks to Thor as well. You can actually afford to tower dive a little bit more in Smite, I found, especially later game, because it's sort of, as any champion that's got a lot of they're gods. As any god that's got a lot of lifesteal, you can sort of get out of trouble with it, which is I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad. The thing that I would say is bad, that I don't like about Smite, is how long the respawn times are. When you're like level 20, which is the max, it's like a minute and a half when you die to get back in the game, which is a bit long to be spectating, which is probably a good thing, because then it's more of a punishment for dying when you're that level, but it just seems a bit of a drag. When you have to spectate for a minute and a half, it seems quite a long time to be out of. Actually, I have no idea what that minion was doing there. Some of the ragdoll physics are exceptional. They're really good fun to watch, actually. You get some funny ones where you get a creep just flying about somewhere. In trouble here, but I have to use my sprint. Yeah, there's an angry Kali somewhere. Oh no, it's an Artemis. There it is. To the left. And Thor gets slain. I think he said slayed there, which would have been wrong. And here comes the angry Kali out the bushes. I'm not. Artemis does die actually, but I think Kali got away, which is a bit of a trait for Kali. She's such an escape artist, because she has the lifesteal that you can be, nearly killing her, turn around, use 2 abilities, and she's back up to nearly full health and back in your face, which is a right pain. I have used Kali before, and God, it's so annoying. So annoying. Yeah, I leave it quite late to start jungling actually. I should be picking up some of these buffs earlier on. You may see on the minimap that there's a whole bunch of different symbols and stuff. There's a little red sword, which is increase in damage, essentially. There's a little like pie with a quarter eaten, the white thing just sort of on the bottom right of the jungle, which is a cooldown reduction. There's the 2 chevrons sideways. Don't know what you'd really call that. It's like a double arrow. That is a movement speed and attack speed bonus, which is pretty good actually. Movement speed is quite important in a MOBA. Obviously, which is like attack damage and stuff. Here we finally get Kali, or items, I mean. Combination of the 2 of us get Kali. And Emu uses his ultimate to sort of, I don't want to say poor effect, but it wasn't particularly good. Vulcan does manage to get away, and Artemis is just AFK, I guess, and is an easy kill there. I don't know what he was doing, if I'm honest. Wukong trying to get the dive on Hebo, but actually messes up and gets caught by the Phoenix down at the end there, which is the 3rd tower, which hits a bit harder, and he gets caught out in the end. But you can sort of do that with the little gaps in between towers. You can sort of dive in, take a couple of tower hits, and then back out. And it's not really a problem if it gets you that extra kill. It's all good really. Pushing this middle lane quite well. Up against Vulcan, who's a bit of a pain. He's got some interesting abilities. He puts down like a pounder on the floor that just does AoE and slows, which is really annoying. He's got like a turret that he puts down as well that just shoots everything. It's not very fun to play against. I have to say, my least favourite god to play against is Kali. Finally completed my fourth one, which is the Executioner, which is attack speed, and my fourth item, which is the Executioner, which has increased attack speed and physical power. So I do more damages basically. Got more health and physical power from the fifth item I've picked up as well. Now there's a bit of a gang fight going on here against Emir. Sort of rush in and then wonder whether that was the right thing to do and have to back off because the people on my team ran the other way and I'm now stuck behind the enemy champions. Just picking off Vulcan's little machine work, and Hebo comes running towards me. Bit of an easy kill. Someone set me up there, but I don't know who. He'd obviously managed to escape afterwards to get to where I was. I was quite fortunate that he decided to run that way, really, and got a free kill, which can never really complain about that. Here I'm picking up the little blue droplet, which is just a mana regen buff. If you're wondering what the little gold dots are, it's just creeps that are there just to provide a gold increase if you're waiting for the next minion wave or something. The big yellow dot is the equivalent of the dragon, and then opposite to that on the other side you've got like a little fire in a circle is the fire giant, which is the equivalent to Baron Nashor from League of Legends, which does a bit of increases like the attack speed of your it's attack damage of your champion. Here I let Thor get the kill because he'd done most of the hard work. Could have been quite easy to steal that kill from him, but chose not to. Right choice, I think. Here's Vulcan's Pounder, which just doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just a bit of a nuisance. Vulcan's getting quite tanky by this stage, and Kali disappearing into the bushes with Hebo and Thingy in tow. Thingy, come on. What's her name? Vulcan. There we go. And sorry I whistled as well. That probably comes out really horrible on a microphone. Not bad. We've got quite a hefty level advantage over the enemy now, and it's sort of inevitable unless we really mess up that we should win this. That was a really careful statement. It's inevitable that we should probably win this. That's not inevitable then, is it? Oops, I can do English. Herp. However, we are pushing quite heavily and sort of wonderful. If you enjoyed this, by the way, feel free to drop a like or something. I thought I'd get Kali with that trap there, but apparently not. I nearly die again. Recall. See what we pick up. We complete our Oin's blade. Or, no, it's not even an O, it's a Q, my bad. Which is more health, physical power, and attack speed, I think. Which is good because the basic attack does a lot of damage with Artemis. Yeah, if you look at the gold, our team's doing considerably better than their team, which is sort of key in a MOBA. Vulcan's looking a bit squishy at the back there. Managed to get Hebo stunned here and follow it up to kill him, which is nice and easy. He was pretty heftily damaged and it was more or less a free kill. Free kills are always welcome. You may have noticed that the melee minions has turned from little soldiers with swords to sort of cyclopses, which are a bit meatier, which just is natural progression throughout the game as as the blue one just goes flying there with the ragdoll physics. As the game progresses, the minions get a bit stronger. I think actually the ranged minions stay the same. Otherwise they get a bit tougher. I'm in trouble at this stage, so I tried to run over my trap to sort of get them, trick them into it, and Thor saves me. I would be dead at this stage if Thor hadn't done his stun thing, which is pretty handy. So thank him for bailing me out of that one, really. Well, swing and misses.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Not a lot we can do in this situation because we may be able to pick them off, but it's unlikely that we'll actually be able to kill them until we get support from Wukong, which is handy, and Artemis gets wrecked. So picked up the double kill, getting double assists from that. It's not too bad, not too shabby. Let's see what we can pick up. I got 1.5k gold. We'll pick up rage, attack, damage, crit chance, and I didn't see what the last thing was. We're currently 9 and 3 at the moment, which is pretty good. Got 6 assists. We're doing good. It's all gravy at the moment. It's pretty much game over. Looking at what they're building, they're struggling. I think. I don't know if they would be. Well, I suppose it's possible that they'd be able to come back from this point, but it's highly unlikely. We're about to take down 2 of their phoenixes. We've got the middle one. Just before I get there, yeah, middle phoenix down. The right hand, no, not right hand. The left hand one is also at half health. The phoenixes live up to their phoenix attributes and come back to life after a short amount of time, which is it's pretty cool, really. But sort of at the same time, it's not. It's a bit annoying. It's like the inhibitor respawning. Leave the legend for the back sort of thing. That's a good point, actually. It is very similar to the inhibitor in the sense that once you destroy the phoenix, your minions in that lane get a fiery buff, which increases the damage they do, which you would see on the next minion wave if I was waiting around and quickly let you see it. Don't think I do. You can see the minions on the left here at the moment. The archers had flaming bows. They gain an attack damage boost, and I'm in trouble here. Book it! Book it! I have to use my sprint to get out of there, and I'll probably just recall because I've got 1.3k gold. I can get the next level of rage. Someone's obviously been jungling here, probably Kali, quite a strong jungler. If any minion or anything has sight of an enemy champion, you will be able to see where they are, so you can sort of see the outlines of them in the distance. Here I'm just saying that Wukong should be careful he doesn't get ganked. It's attack speed, that's the third thing on rage. So even more attack speed. Attacking super fast. 1.69 times a second. Ah, what have we got here? We've got a Hebo. A Hebo that wants to die, perhaps? I don't actually have my ultimate, and he just used his. So I couldn't realise that I was in a bit of trouble there. I've got a fair amount of life still though, so I don't have to recall because I can pick up an easy kill actually. Wow, I don't know what he did there. I'm going to recall because I'll try and get the completed rage, which I do manage to do. What's changed on rage? Shall we have a look? Crit chance if you don't crit, basically. So if you don't crit when you attack, you get an increased crit chance until you crit, which is pretty cool. We should be nearing the end of the game now because their Minotaur's at half health. Got flaming minions coming in. It's all it's all over really. Their Kali did pretty well, to be fair, considering how the rest of the team did. I think I was just looking at there, went 11 and 7 maybe. I wasn't really paying attention, sorry. Helpful as ever. Here, get a cracking stun on Carly, but look at that. Very nearly got away from that because of lifesteal, and was about a third of her health came back just like that, which is ridiculous, really. It was a bit of a kill steal in the end, so I do apologise for it. It's all gravy. Phoenix is back up. Phoenix is back down. Let's move on and kill the Minotaur. I think I saw Hebo off to the right, and there's a few minions that want some killing. So
Your team has destroyed a left enemy Phoenix.
I decided to pop over. The more defences that you destroy, the weaker the Minotaur actually gets. So if you just push one lane and get to the end Minotaur, the Minotaur will be stronger than if you pushed all 3 lanes. Which is why I've come across to the right to destroy the right hand Phoenix, because it'll actually make the Minotaur weaker, which is cool and helpful.
Your team has destroyed
So
a
now
right enemy Phoenix.
everything in all lanes is down for them, so it's now just push in and kill their Minotaur, and that's the game. About third health, but he's going down. Here you see he's got about 4 crits in a row. Camera freaks out a little bit. It's game over. If you've enjoyed, feel free to like, let me know, comment, anything. Feedback's appreciated, and feel free to follow me on Twitter or something. Thank you, and I shall see you in the next episode.